everybody, it's Noah from Figure This Customs here, and as promised, I am doing a little spotlight video on my Mezco style custom Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. So yeah, this is a figure that was a long time in the making, but one that I'm so happy with, and I'm so glad with the way that it came out. This is going to be on my shelf forever. Metal Gear Solid is one of my favorite video game franchises ever, so I'm really glad to have representation of my favorite character from my favorite game in that franchise. But yeah, so I'm just going to go through kind of a breakdown of like what all the parts are, and then I'll just run through, I guess, the articulation and accessories and stuff. So yeah, starting, I'll go from the top down. So the head, the pistol right here, and these pouches all along the belt, those all came from an old Medicom Metal Gear Solid Snake figure. They call it a figure. I think it's really just a statue, okay? Like, that thing has no articulation whatsoever. The only posable piece is the pistol, which is removable from the figure's hand, which is interesting, because everything else was, like, sculpted on, and so I literally had to just cut the figure to pieces. I cut the head and dremeled it out so it would fit on this Mezco body, and then I just cut off all the pouches and glued them to this harness here, you know? So that is also an expensive figure. It's like over $100 just to get that statue, but it was totally worth it for me to get what I think is the best Solid Snake / Big Boss head sculpt out there, and all these little pouches, which are very well detailed and nicely painted too. So that's really cool. And then the uniform, these fatigues, I think these came off of like a Damn Toys figure, or a Crazy figure, one of those. I bought it from a seller online for like $14. This was actually desert camo originally. I weathered it myself with some, like, a green wash, a dark green wash, and then I used some, like, black and beige and brown and gray to, like, add the actual kind of camo affects. It's not exactly like, you know, the tiger stripe camo that he wears in the game, but, you know, it gives off the general feel, and I think it looks pretty good. Definitely better than desert camo, that's for sure. The strap and the harnesses, so this gun strap here and the harness right here, that goes around the figure and all around the legs and everything. Very game accurate, which is really cool. Got that off of GPS Lot on eBay. Definitely go check them out. They're probably my favorite seller on eBay. They have really cool stuff. Cloth goods, accessories, figures, whatever you need. Go check them out. GPS Lot on eBay. So yeah, that's where all the straps came from, including like this gun holster. That's part of the strap. It's like a leather, kind of a pleather material. Has this little tab that buttons in to like hold the gun in, and the gun's removable from there. So that's super slick. I love that a lot. So yeah, that does a lot of the work for the figure right there, as far as like the harnesses and everything. This gun, this M16, was sent to me from somebody, like a friend on Instagram sent this in a fodder bin. I got two of these things. I have no idea what they're originally from, but it's like the perfect size, and it's the actual correct style of M16 that he uses in the game. So that's really cool. I just added a little silver dry brushing detail on it. Not too much, but just enough to make it pop a little bit. So that's really cool. I'll just remove this right here. That's the cool thing having on a strap. It's removable. The body that it's on itself is a Mezco Diabolic body. The Mezco like ninja guy, Diabolic. I did that mostly because it's a thinner body that would actually fit in this uniform. Any of the thicker bodies like a Batman or a Punisher, that they would never have fit in this and still be able to articulate like this guy can. So yeah, I went with a thinner body, but it's very well articulated, highly articulated. I think it's the same as like their Spider-Man bodies that Mezco uses, or the Gomez bodies. So that's really cool. So you get the double jointed elbows and everything. And yeah, also it's all black, which in the game Snake wears sort of an all black kind of skin tight suit underneath his uniform anyway, with the sleeves rolled up like this. So that worked out really nicely. This little part of his costume, I've never known really what it is. I think it's just like a knee pad or a knee wrap or something. I just took some electrical tape, wrapped it around the leg, and that's really cool because it's still flexible and bends in all the way that it needs to. So that's really awesome. So yeah, little electrical tape there. This knife and sheath are from the Mezco Netflix Punisher, John Bernthal Punisher. Yeah, I just took the knife and sheath, cut it off the belt, and then I think I wrapped the rest of the belt and just glued it like that so it could stay on the leg. That's not something he ever uses in the game, I don't think. It's just, again, an affect of the costume. This knife was from Diabolic as well. as a little black sheath. I think it was like a little leg sheath originally. I just cut it off. I painted it brown and glued it to the strap, so this knife is still removable and he can still use it so that he can use the basics of CQC, you know, like Snake does. The hands are from, you can see here, the hands are from Mezco Blade. I just took some acetone on a Q-tip and rubbed off the silver/red paint that was on them. He does 3 different hands. He has his little knife holding hand here. He has his, I guess, grabbing or more like gun supporting hand there, and then his gun holding hand right there. So yeah, those all came from Mezco Blade. But yeah, you know, so that's kind of the main breakdown of like what the figure is built off of. It's a really expensive build if you're going to try and build something like this. Like, yeah, well over $200, you know, just for this single figure. But, you know, if you love something enough, it's totally worth it. And it was totally worth it for me, especially since I have something that I think is very unique to my collection. And just as a Metal Gear Solid fan, you know, I just had to go all the way for it, you know, so that's really, really cool. I really love it a lot. Yeah, run through of the articulation. Again, it's all credit really to the Mezco Diabolic body, which is really well articulated, and the clothes don't hinder it too much. They hinder it a little bit, but not too much. So he can rotate his head all the way around. He's got a cool neck pivot and everything, so even with the head the way that it is, he can still look up and down, side to side, get all that attitude that Snake needs to have. He still has rotation in the waist, crunch in the abdomen, lean back. Shoulders can go all the way up, all the way down. Not all the way around because the clothes kind of start bunching up, but he can still get his arms up pretty much all the way that he needs to. You just need to move the clothes around a bit. Double jointed elbows, which is great for all his gun holding poses and CQC fighting techniques and whatnot. So that's really cool. You can crunch down nice and low, get a nice bend in the knees and the legs. So he can still sneak around and do what he needs to do. And that is just excellent. So yeah, that's just kind of the breakdown of this guy right here. I'm going to stand him back up. In fact, we're going to pose him up a little bit. Let's put his knife holding hand in there. Take out his little knife in the sheath, put that in the hand. Pose it up. Nice and good. Let's get his gun out of his holster. Throw that in here. I love the Mezco Blade hands. They're just on the edge of being a little too pliable, but they're very nice and rubbery, so that you can fit kind of any accessories that you want to in them. You know, they don't like morph or like lose shape or anything, so that's really cool. There we go, look at that. Operation Snake Eater is go. Check that out. That's super cool. I guess we can get him in like a kneeling pose too. That'd be awesome. I dig it. I dig it a lot. So yeah, that's the breakdown of this guy. I'll show you a little bit of a size comparison right quick. I'm just going to stand him up kind of as tall as he'll go, so you can see how he stacks up with some other lines and figures. Okay, here we go. Alright, Snake, you just chill out right there for a second. Okay, there he is. Stood up nice and tall. Alright, so here, first off, we're gonna have a 7-inch, can barely fit in the frame here, 7-inch Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn from McFarlane Toys, and as you can see, he towers over Snake. He's a big boy. And Snake is a little on the smaller side, even for more traditional 6-inch figures, so we'll put in a Mezco Batman, Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman that has been a little customized. So yeah, you know, there he is. He's not nearly as thick or as big as Bruce Wayne here, but you know, I think he stacks up pretty well for an average like 6-inch display. He'll totally fit in with most things. But yeah, to get a more universal, I suppose, 6-inch figure, let's go in with the figure of this custom's mascot. Here he is. It's a Marvel Legends style Captain Action. Definitely not a ripoff of Captain Falcon from Smash Bros. And F-Zero, if that's what you guys were thinking. But yeah, so that's how he stacks up with a Marvel Legend. You can see it right there. So yeah, that's kind of all I had for today. Just a little breakdown of my Snake figure. Because yeah, it's something that I love. It's something you guys were asking for. So yeah, if you guys want to build one yourself, that's all the things that you'll need for the most part. If you have any other questions, of course, just hit me up in the comments. DM me on Instagram. Do what you gotta do. I'm always here to help you guys out. I love it. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. God bless, and most importantly, go be yourselves.